The galaxy learned to fear Earth long before it learned to understand it. For most of its recorded history, humanity was dismissed as insignificant, another fragile, short-lived species clinging to a single star system on the outer fringe of the Orion Arm. Earth had no ancient empire, no godlike relic technology, no millennia-old fleets roaming the void. When humanity first appeared on the galactic stage, its ships were crude, its weapons inefficient, its diplomacy clumsy. That weakness made Earth an easy target. The first attack came without warning. An expansionist coalition known as the Viral Compact descended on the Sol system with surgical precision. Their reasoning was simple: preemptively eliminate a rising species before it became inconvenient. The Compact's fleets bypassed outer defenses, shattered orbital platforms, and glassed entire regions of Mars and Luna as a demonstration. They expected surrender. Instead, they met resistance that confused them. Human ships fought recklessly, charging into firing lines that should have vaporized them. Damaged vessels detonated themselves at point-blank range rather than retreat. Ground forces refused evacuation orders and continued fighting even when defeat was mathematically certain. Humanity lost that war, objectively, catastrophically, but the Compact's victory felt hollow. Because the humans did not break. When the ceasefire was signed, Earth lay scarred, billions dead, cities reduced to ash. The Compact issued a formal declaration of dominance and withdrew, confident the lesson had been taught. They were wrong. 30 years later, the galaxy received Earth's first message. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a plea. It was a notification. Humanity announced it had unified completely, politically, militarily, economically. All borders dissolved. All industries redirected. Entire planetary economies shifted toward a single objective: preparation. The message ended with a sentence many dismissed as theatrical posturing. We will not initiate conflict. But we will ensure we are never attacked again. The galactic community laughed, quietly at first, then openly. Earth had no allies, no ancient knowledge, no natural advantage beyond stubborn survival. Most species believed humanity was posturing to hide fear. Then the second attack happened. This time, it was the Car Dominion, biological warlords who harvested worlds to feed their living fleets. They ignored Earth's warning entirely, seeing only a wounded prey species occupying a valuable system. The Dominion's invasion force was smaller than the Compact's, but more brutal. Their ships vomited organic weapons into Earth's orbit, releasing spores designed to consume ecosystems from the inside out. What followed rewrote every galactic assumption about humanity. Earth did not defend. Earth retaliated. Within minutes of detection, human vessels emerged from hidden deep space positions no one had known existed. Their ships were no longer crude. They were angular, silent, armored in materials that distorted sensor readings. Weapons fired not in colorful plasma bursts, but in invisible lines that erased matter itself. The Dominion fleet died in under 6 minutes. Not defeated. Not repelled. Erased. Then came the impossible part. Humanity didn't stop at defense. Their fleets traced the Dominion's quantum signature back to its origin worlds. 3 systems, heavily populated, heavily fortified, vanished in a synchronized chain reaction that collapsed their stars inward. No debris. No survivors. No warning. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. Earth sent another message. Shorter this time. This was a response. Not a demonstration. Fear spread faster than light after that. Now, 20 years later, the galaxy sat on the edge of something far worse. In the Grand Assembly, an ancient station older than many civilizations, representatives from over 300 species gathered in emergency session. Holographic projections filled the chamber, each flickering with tension. At the center stood the human envoy. Ambassador Elena Markov was unarmed, unarmored, and utterly calm. She wore no military insignia, no decorations. Just a simple dark uniform bearing Earth's unified emblem. A projection ignited behind her. It showed data from a recent border incident. An unidentified coalition fleet, later traced to a secret alliance of minor powers, had launched a probing attack on a human outpost beyond the Sol system. No casualties. Minimal damage. But the response had already begun. Several representatives leaned forward anxiously. Ambassador Markov, hissed a Thalrex delegate, its mandibles clicking nervously. This escalation. Surely it was a misunderstanding. A rogue action. Markov nodded once. We agree. That is why Earth has not yet acted. The word yet echoed through the chamber. A massive reptilian warlord from the Hesk Imperium slammed a claw against the platform. You obliterated entire civilizations for less. What restraint is this? Markov's gaze met his without flinching. Because we learned something after the Dominion, she said quietly. Fear spreads faster than understanding. And we would prefer the galaxy understand. The projection shifted. It now displayed something no one had ever seen before. A map, not of known space but of infrastructure. Hidden human installations scattered across hundreds of systems. Dyson-scale energy collectors embedded in dead stars. Dark matter reactors orbiting black holes. Weapons platforms disguised as asteroids, moons, even nebulae. A murmur rippled through the assembly. This, Markov said, is what we built while you debated our intentions. The image zoomed out further. Then further still. Lines appeared, interconnected, overlapping, forming a web that spanned entire galactic arms. Our first attackers believed humanity was dangerous because we fight desperately, she continued. Our second attackers believed we were dangerous because we retaliate brutally. She paused. They were both wrong. The chamber was silent now. We are dangerous, Markov said, because we plan. A new image appeared. Simulations. Entire regions of space going dark. Hyperlane networks collapsing. Stars destabilized not individually, but in cascading patterns designed to render sectors uninhabitable for millennia. Someone whispered, that would destroy half the galaxy. Markov nodded. Yes. Several delegates recoiled. You would commit galactic suicide? Demanded another voice. No, she replied. We would survive. We designed it that way. Her tone remained measured, almost gentle. This is not a threat, she said. It is a boundary. The final slide appeared. A single sentence translated into every known language. Another attack on humanity, anywhere, will result in absolute destruction. Markov turned back to the assembly. We will not negotiate under fire. We will not tolerate misunderstandings. We will not issue second warnings. The Hesk warlord bared its fangs. And if someone calls your bluff? For the first time Markov smiled. Then the galaxy will learn the difference between extinction and annihilation. The vote was never held. Within hours, fleets across known space powered down. Border skirmishes ceased. Expansion campaigns halted mid-jump. Empires that had warred for centuries signed ceasefires overnight, not out of compassion but terror. Humanity did not follow up. No patrols. No demands. No expansion. Earth returned to silence. Years passed. The galaxy adjusted. Trade routes rerouted around human space. Military doctrines were rewritten with a single assumption: never provoke Earth. Children across dozens of species learned about the Terran line, the invisible boundary no one dared cross. Some civilizations resented it. Some studied it. Some prayed Earth would never be tested again. Then, on a distant fringe world, a radical faction launched a lone strike. An outdated weapon fired in desperation, aimed at a human mining station light years from Sol. The impact killed 12 humans. Whoa. The galaxy held its breath. For exactly 30 seconds. That was how long it took Earth to respond. Not with fleets. Not with speeches. But with darkness. Across 3 hostile sectors, stars dimmed, then collapsed precisely as predicted decades earlier. Hyperlanes imploded. Communications died. Entire civilizations vanished without ever knowing why. Humanity issued no broadcast. No explanation. No apology. Only one final message appeared on every remaining network, old and new alike. We warned you. And for the first time in galactic history there was peace, not because of unity or diplomacy or shared ideals, but because everyone finally understood the truth. Earth did not seek to rule the galaxy. Earth simply refused to die quietly. And the galaxy would never forget that again.